So the third way to upload a response is kind of similar. So you're going to have the web browser open with the AP question on it. And then on a separate sheet, it can be white computer paper, it can be white lined paper. You're going to handwrite your responses. Then within the last 5 minutes of upload time, you will take pictures of those and upload those to your the website. So those are your three ways to answer the AP questions. If you open this document from the College Board, they then go into each of those options more in depth. So this page, this slide goes through exactly how you would do option one. So again, they kind of say have two web browsers open, two windows open. On the left side, you're going to have the AP exam open. On the right side, you're going to have your Word document or your Google Doc or whatever. And then you're just going to copy your response and paste it in here. Okay, so this is good because you're going to see the exam question and you're going to see the timer. Okay, so you will know exactly how much time you have left on that question. This page goes into the second option if you're going to save your document and then upload it. Again, same thing, you're going to have two windows open on your screen. You're going to have the exam question on the left and your document that you're working on the right. And then what you will do is save this and upload it onto the website. Again, this is beneficial because you see the timer and you see the question at the same time, so you know exactly how much time you have. I suggest either one of these, okay? If you're doing one of these, some things we'll talk about what to do before test day, but at the top of your document, you should be putting your AP ID and your initials of your Word document if you're going to upload it. And same thing up here, if you're going to copy and paste it, at the top of your paper, you should have your AP ID and your initials. So option one and option two are very similar. It's just what you're going to do with the document once you're finished. Are you going to copy and paste it, or are you going to upload it? Option three is taking a picture of a written response. Again, something similar here. They want you to write your AP ID and your initials at the top of the page. It should be white paper. You're taking pictures in an up and down, so you don't want to do it landscape. You want to take it up and down with your phone or your tablet, and you should be taking one page per picture. Okay. This, depending on what device you're using, could be a little bit tricky. So if you have your AP question on your phone and then you're writing on a written piece of paper, they are saying that you will have to scroll up and down within a question, so that might be a little bit difficult. You will see a timer, but you're going to then take pictures of your work. This, I think, might be a little bit tricky if you're trying to get the pictures uploaded. If you're working on your phone, that might be okay, but if you're sending them to your computer to upload, that's just an extra step that you might not have time for in that 5-minute upload window. So I would be cautious of this, but if this is what you prefer, make sure you practice it on May 4th so that you're familiar with how to do this. Okay, so those are your three ways to upload. The next few pages do not apply to us, so that's going to be music and world language. Where we're going to head next is going to be, okay, what should you prepare for before the exam day? So now that you know how to get into the exam, you're going to use your ticket, and what to do during the exam, you either can type it or write it. Let's make sure that you have all of the resources and things that you need before. The first thing, and I think I've sent out an email earlier, is to make sure that you are able to log into your My AP. So you know, for my class, we've been in AP Classroom a few times. Just double check that you still know your login information for that and that you're able to log into that, and that you see an email address registered in there and you know where that email is coming, okay? Second thing, choose and prepare the device and documents you use. I'm going to scroll down because this goes into this a little bit more in depth. You do not need the lockdown browser. So you may have seen that in other things. You do not need that. If you have Grammarly, if you have that plugin, you need to remove it because it will not allow the exam to function. When you're deciding if you're going to handwrite or type it, remember, you don't need to do graphs, you don't need to do diagrams, but you may need to do some math, especially if you're in chemistry. But for my class, I really don't see us doing any calculations by hand. So just kind of keep all of those things in mind. What device are you going to be using? And kind of keep all those things into consideration. You want to prepare your documents. Okay, so we want to use either Google Doc or Word. You want to make sure you have access to those before test day. Make sure you're saving as you go. If you're using a cloud document, you want to attach your document rather than copy and paste it. Remember, you have to download it and make it a physical document first. So there's an extra step if you're choosing to upload it rather than copy and paste it if you're using a cloud software or stuff. Make sure you have all of your documents prepared. So like we talked about a few minutes ago, making sure your AP ID is at the top, your initials are at the top. Maybe if you're doing this online, saving this on a folder on your desktop so that all you have to do on exam day is open that and you have pages ready to go, maybe with a header on there with your initials and your AP ID. You also want to, if you're doing documents, save 2 documents per exam in that folder. So this could be your file name for question number 1. This could be your file name for question number 2. Just so again, on exam day, you're not fumbling around trying to save it or come up with a place to save it. You have it all ready to go. And on AP exam day, all you have to do is open your document and start typing. Okay, so this I think is really crucial on this page. So we're on page 24 if you're wondering. If you're handwriting, you want to do something very similar. You want white paper. Make sure it's kind of around normal, like printer paper size. You want to use a pencil or a pen. You don't want to be using something crazy like marker or pink pen or red pen. Make it very visible. And they say you really don't need any more than 5 pages per question, but they are allowing you up to 10 pages per question. I really don't see you writing 10 pages. I would prepare 5 for each question just in case. Again, making sure that your ID number is on there and your initials are on there. Again, on May 4th, there will be a demo available where you will be able to kind of watch a video and then practice this. This is crucial for you to try because if you are not able to do the demo, and again, make sure you're using the device that you're planning on using. If you're not able to do the demo, you are not going to be able to access the exam on exam day. So that's something really important to try on May 4th or anytime after May 4th. I would not wait till like May 17th. I would try it next week when this comes out. As far as what you need, let's scroll down to science and find biology here. You need your AP Bio formula sheet. It doesn't have on here that you're permitted a calculator, but you are. I'm not sure why this is on here, not on here. Maybe you don't need a calculator, but you are permitted. You also could use your notes, study guides, anything that we've done in class, you are allowed to use. This is basically an open book test, but the thing is that they're not going to be asking you like facts, right? So it says here too, internet searches, you're not going to have time. And they have intense cheating detecting things in place. They would not disclose what those things are because they don't want it to get out there what they are. But they are telling us that they have intense security measures in place. So even if you are getting information through headphones, so let's say you and your friend are FaceTiming, they are somehow able to detect that. If you are talking through text and you guys are answering the same way, they are able to detect that somehow. So if you want to look more into that, here is a link for best practices. So what can you be doing to make sure that you're not in violation of cheating, right? So here are some things to be looking for on May 4th. Look for how to do that exam confirmation and how to do the test, the demo. And then 2 days before each exam, you will be getting your e-ticket and your AP ID. And if you don't get that by email, you might be getting that in your AP classroom. So double check those places. And then before test day, all of that stuff I just went over is nicely printed on a checklist. I would highly, highly, highly suggest either printing this out or copying it down and making sure that you have this ready to go for test day and before test day. So that's something very important. So that was a lot of information. I was talking fairly quickly to try to get it all in. There are more pages to this document that go more in depth with what's the test going to look like on exam day and etc. But I did cover the major concepts that were really stressed in last night's webinar. So feel free to scroll through this document a little bit more. Email me with questions. Email Mrs. DeBoer with questions. You guys are going to do fantastic. I have the confidence. I have so much confidence in you guys. I'm so proud of how hard you've worked this year. I would not be nervous about this. They're trying to make this as simple as possible. I know that was a lot of information, but once you digest it, it's going to be okay. You're going to crush it. So again, reach out if you have questions. Let me know how I can help.